While discussing research for the teachers of phonetics and phonology, there is a possibility that teachers go for classroom research, okay? Like they focus on their class and think about exploring that class, okay? And then conduct their researches on their own context, right? So that's the possibility. It's a type of action research, okay? And the idea is that you would pick up one problem and would explore it within your own context, and then you come up with the solution, right? That's the action research. And it's an important aspect of English language teaching, right? That you explore your own context of teaching and learning, and then you see that what are the weaknesses, or how can you make it more effective, right? So that's the possibility. And the implications are, of course, the enhancement of your teaching, the pedagogy of phonetics and phonology, for example. Like how can you make your pedagogy of PNP more effective and more, active? That's the action research which is done by the teachers, and the issues are under discussion, under exploration, which are faced by the teachers, right? So the ELT instructors, they are focusing on their own context, looking for problems. When they face the problems, they think about exploring them. The researchers are playing for them, and then they come up with solutions, right? So English language learners and their situation could be explored within action research. We can see that how the performance of students is evaluated, the evaluation of phonetics and phonology, and then their teaching of phonetics and phonology, and then the ways to enhance their phonetics and phonology. These are the possibilities which could be the potential areas for your researchers within a classroom. And then the problem-solving techniques, the developing of materials for proficiency enhancement, and then evaluating the effectiveness of that material, and then how to promote that material, right? Then using the social platforms for sharing issues, and then for discussing solutions. These are some of the areas which could be discussed within classroom research for ELT. And then you can also think about including, other than your course books, the books which would help out your students acquiring good pronunciation, okay? Like we talked about the inclusion of songs, the inclusion of videos, the inclusion of documentaries, the developing of various real-life material, right? Activities, and using effective methodologies. Like you can think about using TBLT, task-based language teaching. So that's the possibilities which could be explored within classroom research, okay? So we can also think about this table which gives us the chance to see that how English language teachers carry on with their researches, focusing on their specific classrooms. So let me zoom in so that you can have an idea that how does it work, right? So the ELT researchers, they are basically the researchers which are conducted by teachers, okay? So you are the potential teachers, you are the future teachers. So you can think about doing research, okay? So who is doing research? Within ELT teacher research, they are done by the teachers. And if you compare it with other researchers, then they are not necessarily done by teachers, right? So that's the difference between the ELT research and then the other researchers. So in what context? In classroom context, right? So as teachers, you are required to go for your researches within your own context. That's the feature of ELT researches, right? Then whether it's systematic, yes, research is always systematic. But within action research done within classroom, it's not that much systematic. It's just necessarily systematic, okay? And you are focusing on that. And sharing, yes, sharing is there. Like the oral sharing is also important. because you do your research. Like, for example, you face an issue, and you think about the solution. You try one solution, and then you evaluate the result. So you would just share that with your colleagues in the school, in the college, and at your university, and then that sharing would be oral, although it's an important requirement for a research to get published, so that others are also getting benefits of your research. Okay, and the scale is a bit narrow. You may be picking up only one issue at hand. Okay, that's one feature of the researches done by ELT experts. Then the purpose is to improve teaching and learning. So when you think about doing researches within your classroom, you would be focusing on the improvement of pronunciation as the expert of PNP, right? That's a requirement of this course, to think about such a possibilities, right? And maybe related to classroom observation, like you observe a phenomenon within your class, or it may be related to reflection. As a teacher, your reflection, your thinking, and then action research when you focus on one single issue and you come up with the solution, and then classroom research, okay? So these are the features of ELT research at classroom level, within classroom, and you can compare this table, that what are the differences and how the research done by teachers, the ELT experts, it is different than the general research or the normal research.